Hello and welcome to From Our Correspondents. This very month is a month that has been tagged as Ghana Month, a month that the entire nation has set aside to celebrate everything Ghana. Eat Ghana, grow Ghana, wear Ghana, and celebrate the ingenuity of Ghanaians. And that's why you see me in this rich kente cloth, a cloth that is Ghanaian and reminds everyone about Ghana. On today's program, we tell you more stories about the Ghana Man series that are being run on our various platforms here at Multimedia. From unique names of cane baskets to the unique stories about the indigenous Ghanaian languages. As you may be aware, the 65th independence celebration is being held in Cape Coast. This is the very first time the city of Cape Coast is hosting such an event. Loads of activities have already taken place and many more activities are in the offing, with a climax on Sunday, the main independent parade at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. The stadium has seen some renovation works. Many roads have been fixed. The hotels and resorts have been fully booked. And interestingly, the street lights are back and functioning. Our correspondents have been crisscrossing various parts of the country to bring you these interesting stories. We also have more stories beyond the Ghana Man stories told by our correspondent. My name is Richard. Stay with me for the next hour as we bring you stories from Wa, Bono East, Volta region and everywhere across the country. So the first story now, and the cane basket weaving has become a popular Ghanaian vocation which can be traced back to the pre-colonial times. The skills needed to create beautiful and useful baskets could take many years to master. But do you know each cane basket has a unique name? For our Ghana Man series, Anita Sewa Ajuga explored the beauty and business of the cane basket weaving.
Antiata, a cane basket weaver in the Ashanti region, has special names for her cane baskets based on their shapes and designs.
This basket is designed like the number 8, so it's called 8-8 basket. This is also called the cocoa basket because it's shaped like the cocoa pod. This is also shaped like the iron. That's why it's called the iron basket. We also have the bamboo basket. It's made of bamboo. This is also called the net basket.
The designs, according to her, attract patrons, mostly foreigners, to purchase most of her products.
Foreigners really patronize my products, especially the furniture.
With little or no formal education, the cane basket weaving business has provided job opportunities for the youth. Under the tattered canopy is 34-year-old Baba, a footballer, now a cane weaver. Baba tells me quitting football is one of the best decisions he took because the cane business is lucrative.
This business has since been my source of income. It helped me foot the bill for my wedding.
82-year-old Cheba For, a cane weaver for many years, is encouraging the youth to venture into the business.
The youth do not want to venture into this business. This business is very lucrative. They should try it.
A lot of energy and time goes into making a beautiful cane basket. All artisans need is patronage of the locally made products like their beautiful cane basket to encourage local enterprises. For JoyNews, Anita Sewa Ajoga reporting.
Still on the Ghana Man series, and we deal with lesser known Ghanaian languages. We tell you about the Efutu language that is spoken in the central region. It's one of the oldest languages in Ghana, and yet many of its natives can't read, speak or write it. Through a radio show, a group of people who look like the last generation of Efutu speakers are trying to drum home the message of its extinction. JoyNews' Justice Bedu traveled to Widiba to meet those behind the show. Here's his reports.
Welcome to Winneba, Efutu's capital. It is the biggest town here, a historic fishing city originally called Simpa.
Radio Peace, 88.9 megahertz FM stereo.
These panelists are on a radio show to remind people about their language, the Efutu language, and to ask them to speak it.
Some of us who were even lucky to meet grandparents who were talking to our parents in the Efutu language, even suffered before we can learn the language.
Esther Nyarko has been doing this program for more than 20 years. She's one of the few in her generation who still speaks Efutu in Winneba.
There are some people from Efutu who even, excuse my language, I can say shun away from the language. They don't want to even speak the language when you meet them.
During the time I was in primary school, if you don't know when you speak Efutu, the teachers have made some necklace with this seashells. They will put rope through all, then create it with a chain. So when they hear that you are speaking Efutu language, they just hang it in your neck to tell people to hoot at you that you are speaking Efutu language in school.
Simple debi lapa Efutu abra adam afadon owo na we swante bene iswanto amujowrane.
The Efutu language is one of Ghana's oldest, spoken by a group known to be part of the Gwans, who are acknowledged as the Aborigines of Ghana.
The language has died. So when you will ask someone in Efutu dialect, in fact, you won't get even about 6 or 7 people to understand the language. There's no books for the children to learn about the language. It is all the time fancy, English and fancy, and therefore when the child go to school and they speak the Efutu language, people will laugh. They will laugh at the children.
The Efutu language, like many Ghanaian languages, is on the brink, and the last generation of people who speak it are racing against time to try saving it. Justice Bedu, JoyNews, Winneba.
We still stay with Ghana Month, and this time we stay in Cape Coast and tell you about the rebirth of Top Yard, a place that resonates with the older generation. And it used to be a movie theater in Cape Coast even before Ghana gained its independence. It served the purpose of socialization for the people in the ancient capital. Many relationships are said to have emerged out of the socialization purpose of the building of Top Yard. This legacy bequeathed to the people of Cape Coast was abandoned and stood in ruins. Recently, this facility has seen a rebirth to serve even a greater purpose than it was initially envisaged. I have been engaging the general manager of the facility, Felix Jikunu, as Ghana's 65th independence is being celebrated.
So for those of you who grew in Cape Coast in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you heard about Top Yard. It was an event center that events was held here at Top Yard. But it died. But recently, the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly rejuvenated it, and now it's giving it energy to do what it did in those years. Premiering of movies, hosting other major national events here. I have with me the general manager of Top Yard, Felix Jikunu.
Top Yard, as we know, has been here since the 60s, I think even before the independence. And particularly this place was being used by just for movies. So at first, when we were growing up, this is the hub of movie shows. But till now, I think the place was abandoned for a long time. But looking at the vacuum of getting an event center, modern event center in Cape Coast, we thought it wise to renovate it, not for the purpose for movie alone, but to open up as an event center, modern event center, which if you want to have a movie premiere, you want to have parties, you know, we have a very big space. It's a multi-purpose center. So it's a good news for people of Cape Coast and the people of Central Region. So Top Yard. Now we are here and we are here to stay. As you can see, when the renovation was done and it was rebirthed, the name still stands as Top Yard. So that, in a sense, is what protecting the legacy that our fathers had, the vision that they had before putting up this place together. So it's basically protecting it. And since now we are having our independence and people are from the diaspora, people are even from different regions coming, it's also an opportunity for us as business people to exhibit what we have, show them around what Cape Coast really has and what they can make use of.
We still stay in Cape Coast and still on the 65th Independence Anniversary celebration, where I tell you about an all-female cowbell national independence contest between Infantiman Girls Senior High School and Sewakese Girls Senior High School from the Bono region. The girls debated on the motion, "Time changes nothing, decisions bring change." Very superb delivery from the girls.
Ladies and gentlemen, with time, hidden truths are revealed while popular views are disproved. This lends credence to the sayings that time is the wisest counsel of all, and the time is the best judge. Mr. Chairman, isn't it true that when Apostle Kojo Safo started his brand of automobiles, people mocked him saying, "How can you manufacture a car that speaks tree?" Today, don't we have Chinese motorcycles and tricycles that produce human language? Ladies and gentlemen, people need time to understand change. Change is not instantaneous.
To begin with, distinguished decision helps extricate one or group of people from calamity. Right decision helps save lives and properties. Albert Einstein said, and I quote, "We can't solve our problems with the same thinking we use when creating them." Unquote. Accra flooding has become a perennial thing. Every year, we hear in the news the number of people created in the image of God taken away by this flood. As for properties, the less said about it, the better. Until June 2015, ladies and gentlemen, we all saw the calamity that befell Ghana at Girls Station near Kwame and Nkrumah interchange when water and fire came together to cause a genocide, killing over 200 innocent people who were taking shelter from the heavy downpour and the flood. It was as a result of not making a decision, a proper one, of course, when the flooding in Accra. When our leaders failed to make this kind of decision, innocent people die. Only decision helps bring change. So when a proper decision is made, it brings change, and the flooding in Accra will be no more.
At the end of the contest, Infantiman girls were adjudged the national champions.
The winner for 2022 inter-school debate competition goes home with 79.2%, and that was Infantiman Girls School.
Of the student knew no bounds. Let's hear from the girls from Infantiman.
Debating is something we find interesting and we take pleasure in doing it. So we did it to make ourselves happy, and we did it for a worthy cause. We are celebrating the 65th independence anniversary, and it is worthy doing this. We are doing this for the love of the country and for the love of debating. Yes, please. They should work hard next time and call on God. Yes, they should do their possible best, and they should take keen interest in debating, because it goes a long way to develop our cognitive domain and everything. Our argument was against the motion that time changes nothing and only decisions bring change. So we spoke against the motion, yes. We spoke about decisions and other resources coming together to bring change, not only time. We are able to become critical thinkers since we rebut arguments of the opposing team, and it helps us know a lot around us. So we research, get current affairs, and then in-depth knowledge on the topic at stake.
The 10 of Sewa Kesi girls.
I feel glad our competitors or my debaters, my team, they did their possible best. And this is how far God has brought us. Though we are not losers, we are all winners, but just that we got a second position. And this is not going to stop us from also trying harder. This is not the end of the road for us. We will come back again, God willing. Our team, we have this something that debate is our passion. And we love debate. Debate is our passion, and we love debate. Debate helps someone or a child to develop mental skills. It's not easy to stand in front of a large number of people to talk. It takes one with the ability. So I entreat everybody that you should start training your children in the form. Debate is very legible. It's fun.
The event organizers, Nyarko-Ghana Limited, were excited about how the debate has grown.
It started somewhere in September last year across Ghana, and we had quite a number of schools actually participating at the school level, through to the district level, to the national level. Then it was divided into zones. So it's been a very quiet journey today, and we are very happy to see these two schools actually coming up as a winners, and also come to show such a wonderful performance in this year's finals.
Away from the Ghana man stories, and let me tell you about the cassava flour that has become a game changer in baking and farming industries. Bread, a popular staple in most homes, has always been traditionally made from wheat flour. But how about resorting to other flour sources for bread, like cassava flour, and can there be any health benefits? A research conducted by the Food Science and Technology Department at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has revealed cassava flour used as bread composite could potentially maintain optimum blood sugar levels. Emmanuel Bright Kweku of our science desk has more in the following report.
A typical breakfast in any Ghanaian home will always have it as the main or complementary carbohydrate source in a meal. A freshly baked bread is best accompanied with beverages like hot chocolate drink, porridges, and sometimes made into omelette toast. Despite bread's nutritional value, its high glycemic index is becoming a worry for many.
High glycemic index foods usually will release sugar into the blood very fast or at a faster rate when consumed as compared to those that are low glycemic index. And people like athletes, for instance, would want high glycemic index foods because they need the energy very quick. But the research has shown that if you consistently take in low glycemic index foods, you stand a chance of living longer, healthier, because high glycemic index foods have been implicated in cardiovascular diseases.
Recent research has revealed incorporating cassava flour as an ingredient for bread could be a game changer in the baking and farming industries. Cassava flour is simply unfermented cassava processed through the milling of dried cassava tubers.
Already, research has shown that our root and tubers could be converted to quality flours that could be incorporated in products that we usually use wheat for. So we had an earlier study that showed that when you add 20 up to 20% high quality cassava flour to wheat, you can make quality bread similar to 100% wheat. So that was on the recipe, and this recipe has been developed, and we thought it has a lot of benefits.
Consumers were like, cassava is supposed to be starchy and it might have the potential to even be high glycemic index food. So we had to check as scientists. So we did the substitution, and then we invited them participants, and then we recruited them. We checked their blood sugar levels, and they had to be normal, of good health. And then we conducted their tests. So we fed them, on certain days we fed them the bread with water, and then we were measuring their blood glucose levels, and at 15 minutes intervals for the first hour and 30 minutes intervals for the second hour. And then we did some analysis, and then we realized that the more you increase the substitution of cassava flour in bread, the lower the glycemic index becomes. So there was a direct relationship between substituting the cassava flour and the glycemic index of the bread in the consumer.
The food researchers confirm bread made from high-quality cassava flour will improve cassava value chain and ultimately better the economic livelihoods of rural farmers.
But then we wanted to know what are the other advantages. Of course, we know it will, if you are to implement it, it will create jobs because more facilities are going to be established to process these cassava into high-quality cassava flour, and then we are going to get more money for farmers, and then it's going to create jobs along the value chain of cassava.
Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
Let's still stay in Kumasi, and your hassle of navigating in your locality may soon be over as the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology develops My Trusty app. The app, it is reported, speaks Twi too. Finding addresses and locations in Western countries is easy using the Google map. However, poor road layout and informal settlement, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, makes it difficult to do the same. Fortunately, the problem is being addressed with My Trusty app developed by the university. There is more in this report.
With the lack of mapping for a lot of areas, including schools, market and hospitals in Ghana, many residents resort to the use of informal names. KNUST researchers therefore took advantage of address points of landmarks in local communities and trotro services to generate data for the app's development. Dr. Gift Dumeda is project lead.
My Trusty was developed to make sure that people can have easy access to their local services, be it a clinic, police service, fire service, or a shopping. And all of these information are included in My Trusty. And we also make sure that it has a local context by incorporating the local Twi language in it. Now, the Twi language allows us access for people who are not familiar with English, so that they can use the Twi to be able to access their navigation. Currently, the My Trusty app can be used in two modes. One, when you have data, and then a second case where you do not have mobile data. And My Trusty can be currently downloaded. You can go and Google My Trusty at mytrusty-gh.com, and you'll be able to download My Trusty. Alternatively, you can also go to Google Play Store and search for My Trusty.
The researchers say they will soon release the iOS version of the app. Reporter for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
Residents of Walewale in the northeast region continue to be in a state of grief following the disappearance of a 5-year-old girl. The girl has been missing for 14 days now since she was last seen being carried on a bicycle by an unknown man on the 21st of last month. The incident is said to have left the whole community traumatized and frustrated, as many have begun to lose hope of seeing the girl. The residents' grief is, however, turning into anger as they accuse the police as well as the municipal authorities of lack of action and concern. Through the assemblyman, the residents have issued a recall ultimatum to the authorities to take concrete steps in the search of the girl. Correspondent Ilyasu Tanko has more in the following report.
Samantha Idrisu hawks vegetables and fruits on the main Tamale Bolga Street in Walewale. As a mother of 3, this is what she does to support her husband, a basic school teacher, to raise their children. But in the last 14 days, Samantha hasn't been to work, not because she has run out of supplies or due to ill health, but because her second child, a 5-year-old girl, has been missing. From the street, Samantha is now confined indoors, disoriented and in a state of constant mourning following the disappearance of her daughter. In this interview, in which she cried throughout, Samantha, who was looking weak and exhausted, narrated the events leading to the disappearance of her daughter. I sent for her from her grandma's place, but she was not there. I followed up and could not find her. I asked her friends, and they said they saw her riding on a bicycle with a man towards that direction. We searched around and we went to Eagle FM for an announcement and reported to Mbadurana, but we still haven't seen her. This is the 10th day since she got missing. Samantha is now calling for authorities to help find her daughter. The father of the girl, Idrisu Abdallah, who is equally deeply worried, said he was losing all hopes of seeing his daughter. He expressed his disappointment in the municipal authorities' slow response to the case.
Authority of this community, sometimes let me say we are disappointed in them. You are the DCE himself. We've not seen him here. He's our relatives. At least you should have come and see what is happening. We have not seen anybody say anything about that. You think what has happened is for this house or for this community, this area. You don't know what next. So what we are pleading is, whenever authorities like this comes, they should always try to come for our help.
JoyNews has learned that the incident was immediately reported to the municipal police, but according to the residents, the police are yet to take any action. The only search currently ongoing for the missing girl is by the community members, as the police, unsurprisingly, are missing in action. An uncle of the girl expressed his unhappiness with the way the case is being handled and called for the intervention of the IGP and the Vice President.
The police are adamant in this case. We are very certain that the CCD camera can unveil it. If this CCD camera cannot be used, then the essence of the CCD camera in this community becomes the tragedy of the commons. It does not serve the purpose of everybody. We call on our brother, our senior-most brother, the Vice President of Ghana, to look into this matter. We call on the IGP to look into the matter.
The assemblyman of the area also condemned the police handling of the matter, while issuing a weak ultimatum on behalf of the community to the police to help find the girl.
I'm saying the IGP and even our brother, the Vice President, we like him. I always say that. But we see he must be concerned in what happened here. And like they said, we reported the issue to even assemble. Do you understand? The MCE, as at we speak, they have not visited. So what is preventing them from visiting? Because if they had visited the family early, it would have helped to calm down tempest. But they waited and waited and waited until just the day before yesterday that they then visited. I mean, which is quite unfortunate. It means that they are not concerned about not only this particular issue, but the growing levels of insecurity, everyday armed robbery. We don't know what happened. We don't know who is going to be the next victim. So we are going to give them an ultimatum, 1 week ultimatum for them to act on this issue. Other than that, we are going to unleash the whole of Mamprego to come out and demonstrate about this particular event.
Reporting for JoyNews, Ilyasu Tanko, Wale Wale, Northeast Region.
We take another break and return with more stories. Please stay. To the Bono East region now, where residents of Kunsu, a predominantly farming community in the Kintampo North municipality of the Bono East region, are appealing to government to help construct the road network linking the community to its district capital. The deplorable nature of the road network, according to the people, is adversely affecting economic activities in the area. Correspondent Anas Sabit was in the community and has come through with this report.
Kunsu is a predominantly farming community in the Kintampo North municipality of the Bono East region. The deplorable nature of the road network linking this community to its district capital is heavily affecting all phases of life, including healthcare delivery and general economic activities. Rose Jamra is the Kunsu East Assemblywoman. She says the deplorable nature of the road network remains the community's major challenge.
Our first challenge is the road. The road from Kintampo to Kunsu is very, very bad. When emergency come to the facility, the hospital, the clinic at Kunsu, when they have emergency, let's say in the night, a pregnant woman will come for delivery, and if they can assess the problem, they have to take the person or transfer the woman to Kintampo. But due to the problem on the road, it will be difficult for them to move the person to Kintampo to sustain her life. So this is the problem we are facing.
Chief of the area, Nana Osahene Kweku Cranton II, bemoans how the terrible nature of the road is adversely affecting farming activities in the area.
It does have an effect, bad effect, because women cannot even carry their foodstuff to the main market. We have plenty of food here because people here are farmers. See, this year, for instance, most of them have lost their cashew, fire burning, and all these things. But the government is eager, trying to come to our aid and help us in all spheres of life. I think we will have solved it, but we are not getting that. Although I'm doing my part to sell it out, yet no response.
Newly installed Nkoswahima of the community, Dr. Selin Piesma, who visited the community to finish her residency in global health and tropical medicine, expressed gratitude to the people for the honor and noted that she would work with the people to help improve the Kunsu Health Center.
What I really wanted to do, to really have a small clinic that needs improvement, that needs someone to take care of them and improve the health system. When I did my residency back at home in the Netherlands, we've been taught to work together, to cooperate with chiefs, with local people to enhance the health care. And I will ensure the royal family, but also all the people of Kunsu and the surrounding, that I will do everything in my power to help them. Because I believe that healthcare is super important. The best way forward is to help and improve that.
Osahene Kweku Cranton II appealed to the media to bring to light the difficulties the people go through in order to help get the road constructed.
We cannot do it. The government agencies who are responsible for various sectors, and the sector minister who is responsible for this, Minister of Road and those people, they don't mind. They don't mind. So I charge you now. I'm charging you now. You have the media. Push it.
Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Kunsu.
Let's still stay with Anas Sabit, who brings us a story about residents of Jako, a suburb of Chichiman municipality of the Bono East region, who are appealing to city authorities to help evacuate an abandoned refuse, which according to them is posing a health risk to the people and thousands of pupils schooling few meters away from the refuse site. They contend that the population of the community far exceeds what the refuse site can take, and if nothing is done immediately, the situation may lead to an outbreak of communicable diseases in the area. Anas Sabit again has more in the following report.
This refuse site here is located here in Garki, a suburb of Techiman in the Bono East region. The refuse, a few meters away from various schools within the area, poses as a health threat to the people and the community at large. We are interacting with some of the residents here to find out from them how this refuse site is affecting their lives and that of the pupils schooling within the vicinity.
It's bad. It can cause illness like malaria, and school is very close to this place, which is very bad. And we even have a Melcom close to the place, so it's very bad.
Container no peja o peja on can't be as a ball and no banner container you have a ball and go see fear a bottle of a gum na fasiwo mama wanting and need.
Osman Misbah is the headmaster of the Aswaj Academy Basic School. He tells me that there are days classes had to close down due to the stench and smoke generated by the refuse site.
Talking about the effect, I think as we speak now, you can see the smoke. And this smoke, it goes directly into the classroom. So at a point in time, you have to close the class and let the children go out together with them. And wait, sometimes we need to fetch water, come down here to quench the fire in order to get a good atmosphere to be able to learn. And we had borders here. They do sleep here. But if you look at the nature of the environment, the dirt here, it breeds mosquitoes a lot. So it's serious here. And I think we need a serious intervention.
The pupils here are equally not happy with the situation. Fatih Drisu, a JHS1 pupil, laments how the refuse site is affecting their studies and called on authorities to intervene.
It is really affecting us very badly. Sometimes when the teacher is teaching, we can't even focus on our studies because of the bad smell. Sometimes the teacher walks out because of the smell. And when they are burning it, the smoke enters us, and everyone knows that smoke causes respiration problems. So we please beg the MPs, MCs to come and clear this thing for us.
They again indicated that the residents and the pupils in these schools around regularly fall ill as a result of the heap or the refuse site that is not being tackled on regular basis by those in authority.
It leads to cholera, malaria, and all. I quite remember 3 weeks now. We've covered about 3 or 4 children who were, encountered by malaria and then cholera. So it is a very big headache to us.
Their simple plea to authorities is to ensure that this refuse site is evacuated and the containers are taken swiftly or regularly on daily basis to stop residents from dumping on the floor.
Please, Martin, Mr. MP, please do something for us. The municipal assembly, please, we need you to come to our aid. Help us to clear this boiler. We beg you in the name of God.
We are pleading to them. After trying to evacuate or collect these things from here, the next thing they have to do is they should get us someone who can really take care of the place.
So until something urgent is being done about this refuse site here, it will continue to pose as a health threat to the people around, most especially the pupils in the schools around. From Garki, in the Tichiman municipality of the Bono East region, my name is Anas Sabit reporting for JoyNews.
Let's get back north to the Upper East region, and after 15 years of academic journey, the Zwarungu Nursing and Midwifery Training College in the Upper East region has achieved some milestones, including a 100% pass record in the last released Nursing and Midwifery Council exams. However, the principal of the college, Michael Mantamia, says the institution needs a standard school library and a standard skills laboratory, among other things, to help incoming students to succeed. He was speaking at the 2022 matriculation for fresh students of the Zwarungu Nursing and Midwifery Training College. Correspondent Albert Sori reports.
The Zwarungu Nursing and Midwifery Training College was established in the year 2007. The college, which started with just 50 students, has over the years produced hundreds of clinical and preventive nurse assistants for the country. The principal of the college, Michael Mantamia, believes that the college in its 15-year journey has chalked many successes, including the introduction of 2 more courses of study and a 100% pass record in the last Nursing and Midwifery Council examination results released in the year 2020. He is, however, unhappy about the slow pace of infrastructural development at the institution. The principal was speaking at the 2022 matriculation for fresh students of the Zwarungu Nursing and Midwifery Training College.
The hard-working staffs don't have any accommodation on campus. They struggle to rent outside, which is affecting both their morale as well as the management of the college. The college needs standard library standard ICT laboratory, and standard skills lab. We also urgently need a student hostel. We also welcome organizations or individuals who may want to enter into a public-private partnership arrangement to kindly alert us for engagement.
A total of 619 students were matriculated to begin their 2 years of studies at the Zwarongo Nursing and Midwifery Training College. The number includes those admitted last year but who could not be matriculated due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The population includes 177 males and 442 females. The principal admonished the new students about the sensitive nature of the nursing and midwifery professions.
The programs, that is nursing and midwifery, you have chosen to do is not difficult as sometimes perceived. But I can assure you, my dear matriculants, it is also a bit tedious and may require you to be meticulous on some occasions. So if you take things for granted, it will really not be easy for you.
A new dining hall facility and a new classroom block for the Zwarongo Nursing and Midwifery Training College are yet to be completed, while the students say they need a hostel facility on the campus. The District Chief Executive for Bolgatanga East, David Amua, gave the assurance that government has plans to continue the development projects in the college.
A student hostel is badly needed on this campus. So we work hard to see how best we can put these facilities to the disposal of the institution to facilitate their work and bring out the better and best nurses in Upper East and in Ghana.
Hard-working students and staff of the Zwarongo Nursing and Midwifery Training College were also awarded at the ceremony. Reporting for JoyNews, Albert Sori, Zwarongo.
From our correspondent returns shortly after this break. Welcome back from the break, and let's move up north now. And most crimes and violence that occur in the country are said to be either allegedly committed by the youth or their accomplices. Simply put, most of them have been branded criminals. However, in order to change the tide, over 70 youth groups in the Upper West region have come together to undertake a health walk and to drum home the message that they are not only peace-loving people, but ambassadors of peace as well. JoyNews' Upper West region correspondent Rafiq Salam joined a peace walk embarked by over 40 youth groups in the region. Here is his report.
The health walk, which is the initiative of a Robes youth group, Jonjo Palace, affiliated with the ruling New Patriotic Party, embarked on it with the sole aim of fostering unity between youth groups in the region. Over 50 youth groups in the region first converged at the Dengberi base of the host before they spilled principal streets of the Wall Township amid music from loudspeakers carried by a care truck. In some instances, they would stop and dance their hearts out to music from brass band. Secretary of Jonjo Palace, Baba Sadat, explained further why they are embarking on the walk.
Yeah, we are embarking this walk basically to bring up youth groups together, youth groups that are in town, Upper West region, so that to foster peace and unity among all the youth groups, political parties, religious groups, and everybody that matters in the region. Yeah, basically, health is wealth, and if you are wealthy and you don't have health, definitely you might be hindering yourself. So we organize this walk basically to keep people fit and healthy so that they can go about their daily activities. Yeah.
He was impressed with a massive turnout by the youth groups in the region, signaling that they are ready to maintain the relative peace the region is enjoying.
Actually, yes, we can't say bad, we can't say anything bad. Definitely, we are expecting a hell lot of people, and as you can see the numbers, it's encouraging, and we are very happy a lot of people have come. I want to encourage all the other youth groups in the Upper West region to emulate what we are doing, because it's not one man's job. Everybody needs to bring peace and unity in the Upper West region. So all other youth groups should emulate us.
Youth groups from religious and other political parties also joined the health walk. Kotian Urudin represented the West Central NDC.
One thing that has characterized this program, which made it unique, is that it is an amalgamation of different classes of people. It is devoid of partisan, it is devoid of religious, it is devoid of tribal and other ethnic sentiments. We are together as brothers and sisters in the upper region to work as a united front, to work in unison, and to make sure that the Upper West region is put at a certain pedestal that will make it an envy to the whole world.
Organizers of the health work are happy with a massive turnout of the youth at the event, hoping that it will open the door to future collaborations among them to develop programs that will better their lives. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam.
We get back to the Volta region again, where a less than 20-minute severe rainstorm has wreaked havoc in the Volta regional capital, Ho. Per the initial assessment by the National Disaster Management Organization, schools, households, business centers, billboards have been badly affected, with 3 persons injured. JoyNews' Fred Kwame Asari has more in the following report.
An initial assessment by the National Disaster Management Organization revealed that the Senate Flats Presby Basic School was the hardest hit. The storm ripped off the roofing of a 3-unit classroom block, drenching learning and teaching materials. Vivian Kofi is the headmistress of the Senate Flats Presby Basic School in Ho.
So currently, the children are being taught under trees, and the rains have just started. So we are pleading with everyone, if this information gets to you, any way that can be of help, we need urgent help in form of roofing sheets, the roofing nails, the wood, everything that you can help us with. The books, to some of them, have been affected. So please come and help us. We need your help.
The Ho MCE, Divine Boston, after having first-hand information about the disaster, promised to mobilize some materials to repair the damages.
We have given our words that immediately iron sheets will be provided. I have placed call, so my NADMO and work engineer will go for the iron sheets immediately, and we are talking that we should partner in solving this problem, and we have already agreed on some terms. So once that thing is the iron sheet is provided and the workers are ready to work, maybe by close of tomorrow this place should be fixed. By Monday the children should have a place to learn. Yeah.
The roofing of 2 classrooms of the EP Banque Basic School was also ripped off, compelling teachers to combine classes. A class and an office of the Ho Banque RC Girls Basic School was not spared by the storm, with portions of the science lab of the Nyarko Girls Senior High School damaged. Several households, billboards and commercial centers, including the popular God Day building, were affected by Wednesday's rainstorm, leaving 3 people injured. The Ho Municipal NADMO Director, Stephen Adigon, said the disaster was widespread across the municipality.
Our staffs are on the field, still doing assessment, and I'm assuring you that by the close of the day, we will get the total of houses and stores that have been affected to the media. In fact, we pray that this shouldn't happen again. But I only want to use this opportunity to thank the electricity, the police, the Ghana Telecom. Immediately the disaster happened yesterday, I called them. Their response was very quick, and were able to disconnect some of the wires that needs to be disconnected.
Mr. Boston appealed to individuals and organizations to support the assembly to repair the damages caused.
And those that we can be fixing through the workers of the assembly have already begun. It will continue, but we can't do it alone. What's happened? We may need over 300 bundles of iron sheet or more to satisfy the need of the victims. So we are calling on every well-meaning Ghanaian, home and abroad, people living in the whole municipality, businesses, that they should come on board. I'm even calling on the timber market people.
Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Ho.
We stay with Fred Kwame Asari again, where he reports of a rainstorm that has swept through Jolo Bogami in the whole West District of the Volta region on Tuesday has caused damage to the roofings of 2 structures of the Jolo Senior High School. Sections of the roofing of an improved boys' dormitory block and teachers' bungalows under construction have been ripped off by the rainstorm. He has more in the following reports.
Due to inadequate dormitory facilities at the Jolo Senior High School, the top floor of this 12-unit classroom block was converted into a dormitory to house the male students. Unfortunately, a rainstorm ripped off a section of its roofing. This affected 2 rooms on the block, hereby compelling school authorities to move the occupants to join their colleagues in other rooms. Mark Peter Dumatonu is the school's headmaster.
On Tuesday, about 5:30, there was a rain in Jolo Bogama, and then it started with a rainstorm, and that affected the classroom block that we are using as dormitory. 2 rooms of the structure has been affected, and 130 students were affected. So management sat, and then we reallocated them to the other 4 rooms at the top, which were not affected. In addition to that, the bathroom, which the students are also using, temporary bathroom, which we made with iron sheets, was also affected. Now, in addition, the bungalow, the teachers' bungalow on campus, was also affected, partly. And currently, we want to move those 2 rooms which are affected down, we want to move them down to also occupy the existing classroom that we are using down, to also occupy that place so that they can sleep soundly for now.
Management fears the school may experience infrastructure challenges when the first years resume in April. Fortunately, the government is constructing a 450-bed capacity dormitory, which is about 65% completed.
The boys' dormitory we have currently, we are lucky the contractor has reported last week and said he's coming, that by Thursday next week, they are bringing materials to continue. So we pray that that is continued and finished. We are appealing to NGOs, philanthropies, benevolent organizations, and the government to the current boys' dormitory, which is being put up, which is 450 capacity, should be finished, so that when the first years come, that challenge of accommodation for students will be minimal. We appreciate what the government has done so far.
No casualty was recorded in the rainstorm disaster. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Jolo Bogame.
The town of Goso wraps it up for us in this edition of From Our Correspondents. Precious Semevo, my colleague, tells us a story about the Ahafo Regional Health Directorate that has recorded some improvements in the healthcare areas per the health sector performance indicators for 2021. He has more in the following report from Goso.
The 2-day 2021 annual health sector review meeting on the theme Essential Services Continuity amid the COVID-19 pandemic, leveraging on public health and clinical care synergy, took place in Goso for stakeholders to reflect on the ways of improving healthcare delivery. The Ahafo region recorded an overall score of 4.1 out of 5, an improvement over the 2020 score of 3.8 in the holistic assessment exercise. Some of the areas that saw improvement include family planning acceptance rate, the proportion of mothers who made at least 4 ANC visits, and neonatal mortality rate. Dr. Kwabena Boating-Boakye, the Regional Health Director, said despite the challenges, it will get better with dedicated and specialized personnel.
We have a team for all the districts. We audit the deaths, and the regional has an oversight team that does the audit. Look at the recommendations that have been agreed upon by the various district audit teams. See the light of day. In fact, I think just recently that we had the Deputy Clinical Care, these are obstetrician gynecologists. So 2 years ago, we had the slogan Zero Tolerance for Maternal Deaths, and we lined the regional maternal child and newborn task force, which really became less functional. But right from this year with his presence, we are going to reactivate it. So what I mean is that we don't want to see mother die, when it comes to the newborn deaths, for 2020, I think we have 7.7 per thousand live deaths. And for 2021, 6 per thousand live deaths, which is an improvement on it. But we believe that when we get more human resources, we can even do better.
The region has recorded 2 COVID-19 deaths in 2022 with no active case, but residents are being urged to get vaccinated.
From January to the end of February 2022 this year, the region has reported a total of 27 cases in 2 years. As of today, the region has no active case, which has been the status quo since the 2nd of February 2022. So means as of the end of February, about 45% of our eligible population of about 395,000, including pregnant women, have received at least 1 dose, and about 27% have been fully vaccinated. The vaccines are safe and effective and free. There are managing challenges of few pockets of vaccine hesitancy.
Ghana Health Service Council member William Frimpong Bonsu said the council would soon implement policies to ensure fair and equitable distribution of personnel.
And very soon, we are going to implement a policy on that. I mean, in terms of transfer and other things. Because the distribution is being concentrated. And it came to our attention that there's a health facility in Kumasi. They need only about 20 megawatts, but they have about 110. So everybody wants something within Eastern Greater Accra. So there's going to be a policy right from the training point that if you go to the training center, then you know that I'm going to work in this region.
Chief of Intotroso, Berima Treko Ampem II, assured the Health Directorate the Regional House of Chiefs would discuss their challenges for effective healthcare delivery. Precious Semevo, Joy News, Goso.
And that's our show for today. It's been exciting traveling with you across the country to bring you stories from our correspondents. My name is Richard Kwejinyakon. Have a good afternoon and enjoy your weekend.